Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good time of day for you. Welcome back to the LAMDA log. This is week 2, day 3, Wednesday, the 29th of July. We had a little warm up. Then we had our dance call, our jive, and our Elizabethan. Then we jumped right into it. This is going to be a really short video because I had no meetings today. I was able to get home early. Delightful. So, shout out Sandridge. We began with Shakespeare's Restless World, and it was an English cap. So on Sundays and holidays, it was legally required to wear a cap. This enforced social differences, and it helped pay the English wool industry. So in Elizabethan English, thee and thou are the familiar, and you is the formal. There were 20,000 apprentices in Elizabethan England. They had freedom and opportunity, and masters were always complaining about them, their idleness and their ways. So they didn't these guys didn't typically marry till they were in their 20s, till they're like mid 20s, because they needed to finish, I think, 7 years of apprenticeship first, and then they wanted to get married. Lads out on the town went wild. They trashed the theater if they didn't like the program. They would get into fights. They would do lots of shenanigans. Our hat has the remnant of a fine silk ribbon, and that would have been like the peak of apprentice fashion. Shakespeare wrote his characters to address audiences directly, mentioning like stinking caps, like not address them as like break the fourth wall, which they also did, but also just talk about them and be like, oh yeah, the stinking caps in Coriolanus is him kind of riling up these apprentices. Tossing caps in the air was a signal of rebellion. And one serious rebellion happened about every 2 years. And so these woolen caps are like hoodies in the sense that it's like, oh, those are kids. So it wasn't like quite gang association, but it's like, oh, here's the kids. They're gonna mess things up. Shakespeare never uses the word mob, and he doesn't define them as a good or bad, just as the potential energy to be swayed either for positive or negative purposes. This kind of feeling of these groups of people. In 1595, capped lads rioted, and 5 of them were executed for their riotous activities. So think of these unforeseen consequences for actions. And so nobility got married very young, whereas like these apprentice and the working class didn't, because nobility had to secure their allyships and things. Interestingly enough, they also typically had more kids for royalties because you needed your heir and your spare. So if your heir dies, your spare can still take over. And cities took away women's jobs in the Industrial Revolution. And so they started just having lots of kids because they didn't have anything else to do, which, take that as you may. Women used to work frequently, like even in the mines, and they got up and they continued working. Then we got up and we continued working on our feet. Then we had a little tea break. Then we continued seeing work. And if you hit the important words in Shakespeare, people think you know what you're doing. That's a secret. Then I had my costume fitting, which is cool. I have this military outfit, which is like green classic with a leather crossband and things. I think I'm gonna have a gun and then a little hat. And then for my casual wear, I have this this white with light blue striped suit with a pink tie and some navy trousers, little baby blue socks, and some loafers. And so it's good. I enjoy it. Then we had lunch, and then we got back up on our feet and kept working. And then, as long as you believe it, you can be as big as you like. Think about like really grounded and realistic performances that are huge. Denzel Washington has some really big characters, but is totally believable as long as you believe it and are totally committed. And then if you underplay a character, uh, it's the restriction and the censoring that comes through. Engage with the given circumstances. When are you coming? Where are you coming from? And what is motivating your entrance? And that's all I wrote. That's all she wrote. So, short little day. Well, it wasn't a short day, it was a full day. But it was a good day. Yeah. Then I went home. Beautiful. So, yeah. Hope you have a great day, life. I'll catch you on day 4, which another meeting. So, love.